amagogo bayasinakekela.
Water in the tree. Elias Masile.
In Africa, we say, when someone is born, we sing. When someone dies, we sing. When we are happy, we sing. Even when we are sad, we sing. When Magogo died in 2007, we sang. So today's message is a very critical one for the history of number 43. I would like to thank Uyolisa for putting everything into perspective. I don't think there's a better person to have done it for us. Now all of us will know the power of music and will be able to use it going forward. So my responsibility is twofold: to thank the agitator and then to give you directions for the next 2 days. For that to happen, I will request Uyolisa to join me on the podium, on stage, and Pel is also going to join me. Before we forget, Uyolisa is not our agitator. She's the representative of the agitator, who is the executive chairman of MultiChoice, Nololidele. In fact, the brains behind the MultiChoice brand. This is a recognition and a thank you to the executive chairman. But because you braved to come here, this is for you. It's a signature thank you from the Masilelas. And now, unfortunately, this winter is not typical. In the history of this event, this is the hottest we have experienced it. You see, what I'm trying to do is to make sure that things go well. Now, Pel, come here.
First time I'm very excited to do this. It's my first.
There you are.
Okay.
They move to the side because the photographer is going to be struggling.
There we go.
There we go.
Thank you, Elias. It's wonderful.
Much appreciated.
And I'll take that
But
back to the chairman.
like every right, every president has a responsibility. And the responsibility is you shall be wearing this until you leave to South Africa. We are done for this part of the 6-activity program for the next 2 days. What is going to happen now? I see some people have already left. Those of us who are capable of wasting time on the greens are going to play golf. And those of us who don't have that capability, there's a wonderful opportunity which we call the Magogo Walk. We assemble at number 43 at midday. And those who have not seen the house, you'll be taken on a quick tour before it gets congested. And thereafter we drive to the graveyard where we're going to place flowers at Magogo's grave. You're welcome to join us. Cars will be leaving from the front of the hotel reception at around 11 o'clock. Let's say 11 o'clock. And if you miss us, you can find us kwa Magogo. I would like to then thank a few people for where we are today. In particular, I would like to thank the MC, who has been donating his time since it started. I think this is year 4, 5?
4.
Year 4. So he's been doing it without a charge. And he shall be doing it so long as the event exists. I'm sitting with my boss from my first job, who said the MC has a posture and a command of Jacob Zuma. But I hope we can use this posture to take forward the last messaging of the discussion. Investing for impact. Those of us who are in this room understand what we're talking about. And the hosts and sponsors of this event, Harith, that's what they do day in, day out. Investing for impact. And I'll be slightly more technical and say there's a fine difference between impact investing and investing for impact. Go and research it if you don't know the difference. I would also like to thank the person who actually started this trouble, having this topic of the power of music. In 2015, Lebu M was part of this gathering. He stood up to not ask a question, but he stood up to challenge the gathering and said, I can see what you're trying to do, but the problem is there are aspects of business which are completely ignored by policy as well as households. And he said it took him to go to North America to make Lion King recognized. 24 years later, Lion King is running every single day in New York. Had he stayed in South Africa, Lion King would have died after year 2. And he said, I challenge the Masilelas to stage an event to talk about the possibilities or opportunities of converting the arts and music into business. And this is why we invited MultiChoice, because they've already done it. Learn from them on how to identify niche opportunities and grow them into something big. So thank you very much to Lebu M. He was supposed to be here, but there's a bereavement that he had to deal with. I would also like to thank the artists. You know, I've always said it's actually fortunate to be ignorant, because ignorance is bliss. You just do things with total innocence and you're not chastised. I was reminded by one of the artists who said to me, you know, Elias, you have changed the rules of the game. What you're doing does not happen in music, does not happen in the arts. When you invite people to come and receive an award, you don't expect them to perform as well. But for this event, we've invited them to receive awards, and they've agreed to also perform. Now, I'm not sure how you commercialize it, what number you put to it, but I would like to thank the musicians for not only sacrificing their names to be given the Magogo Award, but to also sacrifice their time to share their experience, to share their music, and to entertain the gathering that is going to be here. I think we should give them a round of applause. Lastly, I would like to thank the organizers who were able to raise the image of this year's event to the level that it is today, which has meant that both governments of Swaziland and South Africa appreciated the importance of this event, and South Africa decided to send 2 ministers to officiate. And we're expecting 2 ministers from Swaziland to be at the gala dinner on Saturday night. And that is the attachment that they've placed on this initiative. And I'm hoping that they are signaling that the investing for impact needs to start now and not tomorrow. Last but one thing I want to say is there is a piece of paper in front of you which is green. That piece of paper is an announcement of a coming soon. Another book about Swaziland, which is going to be published in September. Pay attention and make sure that you get hold of that book when it reaches your shelves. Lastly, those of us who did not get what we call a pocket running program, please raise your hands electronically, either by WhatsApp or email or something. Okay. Please get in touch with Rosisomela Pangasem. When you walk out, she will forward you that we're trying to avoid paper as much as we can, so we've made it an electronic program. Before we go, I need to recognize somebody special. Jabu Masina, may you please stand up. We always battle with trying to convince people that the stories that are told in number 43 are actually true. They are not fairy tales. One of the stories that is being told in number 43 is the assassination of one of the most notorious police officers in Soweto during the liberation process. This is a cop that went around killing students, killing children at random. I think he was also called Happy Trigger, because that's all he knew. And the ANC made a decision that that police officer needs to be eliminated. And they gave a responsibility to somebody to make sure it happens. And that was Ujabu Masina. I think we should give him a round of applause. He changed the lives of many Sowetans, and he changed the direction of the liberation process in South Africa, single-handedly. And he operated from number 43. Jabu, thank you for the freedom that you've given to us. So, when we leave here, prepare yourselves. Those who are not going to play golf will meet outside the reception at 11 to proceed to number 43. Then tonight, we're going to have the jazz event, which is going to be at a hall just up here. It's called the Convention Center. And then we would like to finish the jazz before 11 p.m. I know people can get excited. The risk of going beyond 11 p.m. is that some of us may not be able to wake up to go and run. Saturday, we still have the 10-kilometer race in Manzini. That means you leave here at 5:30 to be able to register before 6, and the gun goes off at 6:30. Immediately after that, we'll have what we call Magogozi, which is the spirit of giving and sharing selflessly. And there we feed the community, courtesy of Galitos, and we give food parcels and blankets to 43 destitute families. This year we're fortunate that it's going to be 48, because there's a family that has donated an additional 5. And for us, the growth of this event is not about growing the numbers in this room. The growth is about growing the message out there. Let's get more and more families doing the same thing. And let's get more and more corporates supporting those initiatives. And then the evening is going to be our crown jewel, where we're going to have our public lecture and gala dinner. That is where we're going to be recognizing the artists, our idols, and they're going to be sharing our stories with us, why they sacrificed their professions for South Africa's liberation, when they could have gone out and made millions. And these stories are going to be shared live, so that you can leave them in your own respects. Thank you very much. May it be a good 2 days.